So my goals this year really fit into five main categories. The first four are pretty simple, and the fifth one is kind of like a huge category. So similar to last year, the first thing that I want to focus on is my activism. 2020 was a shitty year for activism. I was inside most of the time. I didn't plan a lot of events. COVID, right? COVID really ruined things. So I do want to focus on activism again in 2021. During 2020, I did co-found an organization with one of my friends, one of my activist friends, and I want to put more time and effort into that. We meet twice a week to work on it right now, so I just want to make sure that I have that on my mind as a goal that I want to continue to work on and accomplish into 2021. The second thing I want to work on is my side hustle and my career. 2020 has been an absolute shit year for me in terms of work. It's been really hard. I went through a lot of struggles at work and in my career. And I've also gone through a lot of struggles personally, just trying to figure out like, what do I want to do? How can I find work that's meaningful for me? You know, what is the right path? And to be honest, I haven't figured it out. So 2021 has got to be the year for me to just try something new, figure it out, and actually enjoy going to work. In line with that, I also want 2021 to be a year where I focus on my financial health, because after having, how do I say this politely? Well, to be honest, I just took a 10K pay cut at work. So after taking a really big pay cut like that, for me, that's quite a lot of money. It really drops my salary back and kind of, do I want to share this with the world? Basically, I just lost all of my progress at work. So I had a promotion, I had a raise, I lost all of that, and now I'm in a position where I'm doing a job that I don't like and I'm not working towards anything or have any growth. So that financially has been a bit of a shock, because I have, been planning out my finances in terms of the salary that I was making before, and with the idea that I would be continuing to grow in my career. So I've had a huge financial shift towards the end of 2020, and I want to keep that going into 2021. I've gotten really passionate about financial independence and personal finance and investing, and I just want to continue learning about all of that stuff. And I want to work towards my goal of reaching financial independence, retire early, or FIRE in all caps, if you guys have heard of that movement. It's been really inspiring to me towards the end of 2020, so I want to bring that into 2021 for sure. And then the fourth thing, I think like many people, is to focus more on my physical health. I'm not really that concerned about weight loss, although it would be a good kind of side benefit. I'm not overweight, but I'm in like the higher BMI category for my weight. I'd say I'm like a mid-sized person, as they call it in the body positivity movement. But 2020 has been the year for me to focus on my mental health. So I've been going to therapy regularly, and I've just been really figuring out like how to live my best life on a personal level, on an emotional level, and how I think, how that affects my life, why I do what I do, why I react the way that I react. It's been huge and life-changing, but I have really neglected my health in 2020 physically. I'm sure a lot of that is because of the pandemic. I mean, before the pandemic, I was working out pretty regularly. I was eating pretty healthy. I was really active because I was doing so much activism. But throughout 2020, I've really taken a pause on that, and I need to reincorporate it into my routine for 2021. So yeah, I definitely want to get a workout routine in place, or some kind of activities that I'm just moving my body, because to be honest, I could literally go all day without leaving my house. I go multiple days without leaving my house, and the only activity I get in is getting up from my desk to go to the bathroom or the kitchen. And it's not appropriate. It's not good. So yeah, 2021 has got to be a year for me where I focus on my physical health and just moving my body. Like nothing insane, nothing crazy, but I want to be a more active person, and I want to take care of myself. I want to focus on longevity, which brings me to number 5, which I think is probably the most important kind of category for my vision board this year, which is just a perspective change. I want to change the way I think about things. I want to bring gratefulness and positivity more into myself and the way that I think about myself. It's strange because I'm a very kind and compassionate and understanding person when it comes to others, but when it comes to myself, I find that very, very difficult. And because 2020 has been such a year of struggle for me, I have been very judgmental of myself, especially recently, and I want that to stop. So in 2021, I've got a couple of things that I really want to focus on. The first is living in the present. I actually had this moment the other day that was really beautiful. I was hanging out with my roommates, and we were all sitting together, and we were just talking and eating and laughing, and I just thought, like, this is so cool. Like, this is a moment I dreamed of having growing up, when all I wanted to do was just like live with my friends and have great times all the time. And it was such like a random moment. We were kind of just all hanging out in the kitchen, and I don't know, it was just one of those special moments where you're like feeling out of body, you know, you're observing yourself and you're thinking, this is amazing. I'm so happy right now. And I want to have more moments like that. I want to focus more on what I'm doing now, the process, the struggle, the good and the bad things about being here and now, as opposed to being so goal-oriented. In the past, and honestly, at this very moment in time, I focus a lot on the future. I think, okay, I want to achieve this thing and then I'll be happy, or then I'll be where I want to be. And as it turns out, you achieve that thing and wow, it's not as cool as you thought it was. It's not as amazing as you thought it would be. It's not as incredible as you thought it would be. And I just don't want to have that mindset anymore. Since adopting the minimalist mindset, I've had that thought less and less about physical possessions. So I don't think anymore, okay, I'm just gonna buy this dress and then I will love my body, or I'll buy this car and then my life will be great. No, I don't think that way anymore, but I still have that style of thinking, or like way of thinking, attached to just kind of more ethereal goals, things that you can't hold on to. So for example, I thought, I'm gonna graduate with my master's degree, and once I have my master's degree, life will be fine. Like, I will be set, everything will be good. And then of course, I got my master's, and what do you know? The next thing was like, oh, I gotta find a job. Once I find a job, I'll be good. I don't care what the job is. As long as it pays me enough, it'll be fine. So I found a job, and what do you know? I wasn't happy at the job. Then I thought, okay, well, if I just get a promotion, or if I just find another job, and what do you know? I got a promotion and I still didn't like my job. So it's just like, I don't know, chasing success. It's a really toxic, bad mindset for me. It doesn't make me happy. And yet I'm constantly thinking, if I can just achieve this next thing, then I'll be where I want to be. And the reality is that I am where I am right now, and changing something in the future isn't really going to affect that for me. It's all about the way that I'm thinking about things. So yeah, crazy, difficult to put into words, but I want to change my mindset so that I'm living more in the present moment, and I'm appreciative of what I have right now, and not continually looking towards the future and thinking the future is what's going to make me happy. And one of the main reasons I want to do that is because life is freaking short, guys. Like, the more that I think about it, the more I realize how short life is, how little time we have on this earth, and like, do I really want to be wasting it by constantly thinking about like achieving a goal and not actually living? And no, the answer is no. I want to live for the here and now. And so part of that, I think, is just reminding myself that I'm not always going to be here, and I can't just think, okay, well, in the future, I'll achieve something and I'll be happy. I have to think right now, what can I do right now to make me happy? How can I change the way I'm thinking right now so that I'm happy and content and not hating my life? So one of the things I'm doing, or I want to do to accomplish that, is saying yes to things and being more confident in myself. Because something that I do really often is I think about this idea that I have or something that I want to do, and then I do like all this research about it, and I go like through all the steps, you know, step 1 to like step 100, and then I see step 100 is actually really freaking complicated and I don't know how to do it, and then I think, oh, I'm not qualified for that, like that's not right for me, you know, I'm not good enough, and I just tell myself no. And what I would rather do is just do the first step, like break it down, get really basic. What is the first thing I can accomplish to get to that goal that I want to achieve? What's the first thing I need to do? And then do it. Because if I'm constantly telling myself that I'm not good enough and that it's too complicated and that I don't want to do it, what I just end up doing is nothing. And then I think that I'm lazy and I'm like really disappointed in myself. And because I have this achievement mindset, like, oh, I gotta accomplish a goal to be happy, then I'm like doubly not happy. These two issues interconnect in this really, for me, toxic way. And so I want to eliminate that mindset. I want to just focus on living in the here and now. I want to focus on starting, you know, the first couple of steps in some of the goals that I want to accomplish, and not being too hard on myself, not judging myself too much. So the next time that I have this big idea and something that I want to do, I'm not going to over-research it. I'm not going to spend, 2 or 3 days like really thinking hard about how to make a candle. I'm just going to freaking try to make a candle and see if it works. And then if it doesn't work, I'll do a little bit of research, and then I'll try again, and I'll learn from my mistakes. Because what gives me anxiety, what makes me procrastinate, what makes me not accomplish things and feel bad about myself is really overthinking and overcomplicating and being a perfectionist and feeling like I need to get everything done exactly right, and it's not serving me. Whew. That was very emotional. I'm like, feel like I just did some exercise, but I basically haven't this entire year, so no. But yeah, those are my main goals for 2021. Those are the things that I want to accomplish, the intentions that I'm setting for this new year. And those are the things that are making up my vision board. I'm going to do something different for my vision board this year. I'm going to try to frame it in a picture so that it looks really good and I can put it on my wall and, look back on it more often. But after looking back on my vision boards from the last couple of years, I'm seeing that I did actually end up accomplishing basically everything that I wanted to accomplish. So I just think that vision boards are a really useful tool in goal setting, especially in the new year. It's good for like visualization and reminding yourself and reflection and all of that. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please drop any goals or intentions for the year that you are setting down below. Let me know if you're making a vision board too. I'd be curious to hear what's on yours. And of course, if you like this video, please press the like button. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. Comment, subscribe, share the video, and I will see you in the next one.